3 days before the 3 days. And then, just like all good tech companies, the moment you plan an offsite is the moment users can't log in and shit goes down and hypervisors break and then infrastructure spills over and then you end up spending 48 hours building Elasticache in a mad dash to horizontally scale your system. So I am alive now and systems are nominal and I've actually slept for once. So I'm back. Sorry for
Listen,
taking some time.
Lato, I got a message from Epoch because I reached out to him because I was concerned because I didn't hear from him like at all. And that's not like me and Epoch like might banter back and forth, but we're friends. So, and I was like, dude, are you okay? I got a message. It's like, yeah, extremely busy, crazy, sleeping on floor. Later.
Accurate.
So, Epoch, let me ask you this: all this mad dash and all this Elasticache and all this thing you said in our DM about keeping up with the blockchain website. Are you talking about epochblockchain.tech?
Definitely not. Definitely not. Wow, way to throw my site under the bus. No, definitely not. This is my fiat mining job. That site that has many more visitors than my 3 visitors a week on epochblockchain.tech.
I didn't even know you had a website for Epoch Blockchain.
Oh yeah, it's check it out. It's pretty sophisticated. It's got columns and lists.
So, do you want to know the real reason why it looks that way?
Yes, please. Is that a marketing thing?
Not exactly. It is a compliance thing. So I wanted a bank account, and when you verify through Revolut, you can basically prove yourself in a number of ways. And one of the ways is that you have like a website that shows your business, you know? So you can't walk into a bank and be like, I run a crypto business. They're going to be like, lols, we don't support you, get the fuck out. So I created epochblockchain.tech, and if you scan that, you'll notice that there's no mention of stake pools, or, well, very little mention of anything other than we build software. So if you ask a bank what we do, we are a custom software development company. And that is why that website looks like that.
Yes, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. I mean, this is custom built, I would imagine. But the bank thing, I had to do the same thing. We try to stay very clear of crypto, and what we do is education, and that's the thing. We're an education company. We do education. We're going to be getting into news media, but yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
We do software development. That's it.
What do you do, Hero?
Yeah. What's your gimmick?
I run a podcast.
Protege, what do you do?
I do the Lord's work. Good morning, everybody. Seriously, I just did the Lord's work. Hero, for real, Hero. Just so you know, your podcast, it works. It works, my friend. I was on a space just now, She Mints, right, with Fetish Friends. Totally unplanned, because I thought it was a Cardano CNFT minting thingy, right? As always. No, my people, no. It was Ethereum. And I was like, what the heck? What the heck? How did I get here? Who provided this to me, right? But I love the space because it's Fetish Friends, so that's probably how. And I'm over here thinking I'm about to mint me a CNFT. Nah, son, nah. It was Ethereum. So, using Hero Pool's amazing podcast, I woke up like this with this energy. No coffee yet. Wink, wink. Just wait till the espresso shots kick in. I yesterday got Milk Ada, right? And I learned how to do all that super spectacular extravaganza stuff, techie stuff. And I now have Milk Ada. So that means if in theory I can get that mint, that ETH NFT, right?
Well,
Because
technically,
I was
but it's really hard to do. It's like the long route to do. You'd be better off to just go buy Ethereum. It'd be the quickest way because
yes, but my bags are all in CNFT, or well, yeah, actually, yeah, my bags are all in and Go Tribe. No, but seriously, I only have ADA, so I don't want to give the exchange my freaking business. Screw them, unless I need to buy
well,
more.
technically,
But yeah, no, like, yeah.
what you could do, right? There's two routes that you could take. You could buy wrapped Ethereum and then take it to one of the bridges, depending on which wrapped Ethereum you buy, whether that's seller wrapped or multi-chain or whichever one it is. Take it to the bridge, unwrap it, and then send it back to your MetaMask on Ethereum, and then use that to purchase it. Or you could just go to any centralized exchange, take some of your ADA and trade it from ADA right to Ethereum and then transfer it. But then you got gas fees and yada
But
yada.
then, but that's blood money because a lot of my profits come from CNFTs that I FOMO into and make a profit, and that's the like hard work of the project leaders. And it's like I
Well,
don't want to give that hard
then don't
earned
buy the
profits.
NFT, dude.
It's
Then don't
blood
buy.
Hey,
money, buddy.
so Protege, I got a question for you. So when you put on your Milkada jacket, does it keep you from getting robbed while you go over to Robbery Forest? I'm just
Does it
curious.
keep me from getting robbed?
Yeah, well, you go to Robbery Forest. I mean, you got to go to Robbery Forest in order to get that Ethereum-based NFT. So you put your Milkada jacket on. Is it enough to keep you from getting robbed?
No.
I really feel like there's a
It's
joke
not
up in
it's not
there.
enough.
I'm lost.
You have to jump forest. You have to get to the portal and jump from Milky Land to actual Ethereum land. I will expound on that in a minute. I just wanted to conclude on the previous conversations. I did
But
follow Semi from my personal account Hero, so check. So if there's anybody who feels like I really should be following them, I have a personal account, just let me know. I'll follow you.
Do you
So
follow
back
my personal account?
what?
Do you follow me on your personal account?
No, I follow you on my brand account.
Well, I think you should follow me on my account too.
Okay, I would do that. I follow everybody on my personal account.
Hold on. Do you follow me in your personal account? Now I'm curious.
I think so.
you know what's the real question?
check.
Why?
I'll
What
check.
services? You know what the real question is? What services do you not see me of value to provide you to follow? That's what I want to know. What do I need to do and provide of a service for you to follow me? Tell me, and I'll do that, my friend.
Food delivery, because that's why I follow Cut and Babo. So he does food delivery. So
Adam Bumbo. But no, seriously though, with the milk ADA, right? Because I'm still learning. So, but technically in theory, I know that's the long route. But with that milk ADA, I can get a ETH NFT, right?
So
No, you have
when
to
you are
let
when
it
you
go.
are in Macomida, you are on a completely different network. You are on a completely different history. That is not Ethereum, right? You have to actually jump network. So you have to take your Milky ETH, turn it into real ETH, and then use a bridge to jump from Milky Land
Well,
to
there's
actual
thing is
Ethereum.
no, Keith, let's use actual terms, right? So what you're doing, right? When you went and switched over to Milky ADA, right? All you did was lock that ADA on the Cardano blockchain, and then produce Milky ADA on the Macomida sidechain, right? So then what you would have to do is take that Milky ADA, transfer or buy via a swap wrapped Ethereum. There's several different types of wrapped Ethereum. There's seller wrapped Ethereum. There's multi-chain wrapped Ethereum. Depends on which bridge you're going to use to unwrap that Ethereum and take it back over to the Ethereum blockchain.
Oh, got it.
Then you can use that Ethereum to purchase the NFT if you want.
Which one do you use, if you don't mind me asking, or you can DM it to me,
If I'm,
or for the
I don't,
None.
I've bought 4 things on Ethereum, and that was Angel Baby Hit Squad, and all I had Ethereum from a while ago in a wallet. I just used that.
So in theory, though, can you reverse that? So from ETH then to Cardano?
Eventually, Milkomeda will be the bridge back, right?
What's the question? You want to exchange Ethereum for Cardano?
You can go to, and yeah, kind of is what he's asking, right?
That can happen anywhere.
Yeah, you can do
Right.
that on a centralized exchange, or you could also now, if you wanted to, put it on a bridge, take it over to Macomata, buy the ADA, and then bring it over to Cardano. But that's the long route, and you're going to pay probably more fees.
I know that
You
we
know,
use a lot of the jokey terms, but thank you, Hero, for using the real terms, because that actually made so much more sense to me. And also, God, I love Cardano. Fuck yeah, we are awesome. I'm sorry, not a maxi. I believe in interoperability, but we are freaking epic.
so there's also services that exist, right? Like you can use Changely.com. Have you seen that, Protege?
That is one of my favorite. And
Changely?
sometimes when you have these weird coins, you can only get them through Changely.
Yeah, exactly. It's
You
because
sometimes pay a little bit more, but yeah.
and if you want the alpha on the Changely, just keep in mind how much you're trying to swap, because Changely operates off of pretty small thresholds per asset. They have so many different assets that they don't have a lot of depth on any one of the pairs. So what ends up happening is that if you try to wipe out, like if you try to send them 10,000 ADA, they'll be like, whoa, the max you can send is like 4. And then it's going to basically give you a horrendous exchange rate because you're getting the worst deal. So if you lower the amount that you're willing to buy, maybe it's like 1,000 ADA worth, then you can check the conversion rate, and it's going to be way more competitive and more normal. So keep an eye on that. But yeah, Changely.com Protege is like a way to do it without dealing with custody, right? Because what you're talking about is jumping through a bunch of different custodial methods, meaning that you're going to hold the thing that holds the thing. But in the service world, all you have to do is say, look, here's my address of the receiving type of currency. So maybe I put my ERG address. Last time I did this with Ergo. So like, here's my ERG address. And then they're like, okay, send this much ADA to this address. And then we will put that much ERG in your address. So then all you have
Okay.
to do is go to your Cardano wallet, send a normal transaction as if you would to any other Cardano address. And then they, send your other chain address what you needed. So it's definitely very, very convenient, but don't abuse it.
Don't ask me to repeat that, but I get it. But at the same time, I think we need a whole other Soul Hero podcast dedicated to all of this, and like every other day. No, but seriously, Changely, and I will be looking into that on a really serious note. I know I'm making like ha-has, but I really feel like I just leveled up my game up in Cardano with this, like just learning about
Listen, Protege,
DeFi. Thank
you
you.
you got a lot more to learn, so make sure you're still studying.
What do you
Trust
think I call my name, Protege? Why? Yeah, I'm still learning,
me.
buddy.
I want to get the Theodori had his hand up for like 12 epochs.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much. Hi. I was just thinking you could also use Nexo for an example. You could move your ADA to the Nexo and then make sure you have 10% of it in the Nexo token, and then you can swap without any fees, and you get cash back, and then you could send it out. Yeah, I think you have 5 withdrawals from there, free. That's the way maybe you could do it.
I've never heard of that one. There's so many different routes that you can.
Yeah, you can, but and there's no gas fees for they take the gas fee if you do that. If you hold the Nexo token up for 10% of your portfolio, then you could do that. There's no fee, and then you get some cash back when you exchange it as well.
I like Bitcoin back. So.
Yep.
Yeah. But that's a centralized way to do it, maybe. Yeah.
So we have 44, 45 people in the room, and somehow I feel like I haven't even seen 10 tweets of the space go out. I just followed all the people who tweeted out the space. So shout out to Town, Black John, Cahill, CNMT, Protege, Guru, Hero. If I didn't call your name. Shame out to you. I take that.
Y'all.
Let's go, slackers. Get on it, man. What the hell?
Seriously. Black Chalk, my friend, you're right. Because someone like me whose attention span is, bleh, having this space all day, every day at the same time allowed me to get the education that I wouldn't have gotten anywhere else. Seriously. Like, please,
Protege.
y'all, tweet it. Retweet the space out, people. It really matters.
Protege.
What service do you need, my friend?
Protege.
Follow.
How much
Other
water
words,
have you
get
drank
on
this
it.
morning?
Wow, everybody's like so like energized this morning. Apparently, I didn't wake up early enough, Epoch.
I know, right?
Even Blockjock's screaming over people. I had to mute everybody.
I know, it's wild. And I was tweeting the whole time. I've input it. I'm gonna just read. I have a new slogan for us, Hero. It's banter as a service.
Banter as a service. Do you want to make any bets? I got some magic lines I've been looking at that are very interesting.
Hell yeah, I want to make some bets. Let's speculate wildly.
Yes, I like to speculate. That's why I'm in crypto.
Can you speculate?
Have y'all talked about the Ronin bridge? Because I need to get that out of my system sometime before I end of the day today.
Axie Infinity thing?
Yes.
We talked yesterday.
Oh, please talk some more about it. I was late to the game, the show. Oh my god. I caught it a little bit, but damn. Like,
here's the TLDR.
Capital DAM. Yeah.
Here's the TLDR. A bridge is not a bridge. It is a multi-sig smart contract that makes trust assumptions, right? So you have to know and be aware of what those trust assumptions are. And if you did that, you would know that the trust assumptions at the Ronin Bridge were very...
Five out of 9.
Laughable?
5 out of 9.
Yeah. Very few people were to be trusted.
But, and it wasn't technically
8 out of 9.
It wasn't even technically 5 out of 9, right? Because people held multiple keys, so it wasn't even that.
Oh my god, that's even worse.
And also, right? So it wasn't hacked. This was social engineering. Give me your keys.
No, I don't know. Can we call this a 51% attack? I feel like we can call it a 51% attack because basically they controlled the network by taking over 50% of the fucking nodes.
That sounds
definitely.
Didn't have to crack any code or exploit any. They literally had to just steal the keys.
Yeah, it's like the old school, like when you go and buy all the shares of the company, and then you walk into the board meeting, and they're like, "You have no power here," and you're like, "Actually, I've been buying up all the shares. I'm in charge."
Hold on a minute. I need to make sure that my friend down there, Nicholas, is okay because I'm sorry, Nick. Are you okay?
Talking about Rare Bloom? Sorry.
No, talking about
Nick. Epoch Nick. We don't have to talk about it.
As long as he's all right. That's all.
What's going on?
Are you okay?
What do you mean?
We're talking Ronin.
Oh yeah,
Ronin
I heard.
Bridge.
It's so stupid.
Yeah.
I'm really curious whether or not they scrounge up $600 million to replace the funds in the bridge, and try to keep things on track, or else their whole game is gone. So I don't know. It's gonna be really interesting to see what they do, whether they get any of the funds back or whether they try to raise investments to get it all back on track. It's gonna be wild.
Don't you think the game's done anyway, though, Nick? Because, let's say they put all the money back. Let's say they go find it, they get it. I don't care how they get it. What would you and everyone else do? Like, literally, the second you can do it is probably take all your money.
I don't know what people will do, honestly. I think there are a lot of people who keep playing, honestly, for sure. Crypto people, man. There's a million hacks a day. No one gives a shit 2 weeks later. Do you think anyone cares about Solana's issues? No, they don't care. So I don't know. I think people just want to make money and they want to have fun, and they will forget about this really quickly.
Dude,
$600 million is one of the biggest exploits. Isn't the record 668 million on Ethereum? We're talking about one of the biggest failures in modern cryptocurrency.
So those people that took the money, are they doxxed?
Well,
No.
They have not been caught yet, right? It was not the fact that it was like a rug pull where people were doxxed, right? So somebody stole keys, Blockjock, and accessed all the money and has been moving around. Now, here's the funny part, Epoch. It took them a week. It took them a week.
Don't get me started, man.
A
Imagine
week.
having $600 million of stuff in one place, and you don't have just a thing that you run every day that's like, is the money still there? Like, did the money go anywhere? Like, it's just like someone probably thought at one point, like, oh, this is like really important. We should like monitor it. It's so bad. And I remember a couple months ago, I was like, I want to see if I could run a node for the Ronin network because I was like, there's a lot of activity on this thing. I'm going to reach out, try to figure it out. And they're like, no, only like a select group of people can run nodes. It's very private. And I was like, this is weird. Anyways, I'll keep putting money in it.
Dude, that was your tell. I mean, that's exactly like Algorand does the same bullshit. They're like, oh, you want to run an Algorand fucking node? Like, jump through a hoop, fill out this application, grease the wheel, and put your hand in my pocket, and then we'll see what's up.
You weren't allowed to do any of those
weird
things with Ronin. There was no hands to hold or wheels to grease. You just got to know.
Well, that's even more sketchy. But either way, I don't like this like gating of node running. I think that's a pretty not great sign.
I don't know. I think realistically, honestly, they are trying to do so many different things at once at that company, and things fell through the crack. Obviously, the OPSEC stuff being a joke is not excusable, but I think all the different kinds of areas that they're building in, they just missed some areas or didn't give them the attention they deserved. I don't know. Similar to how like Daedalus is like just a terrible wallet, and it's not getting any good investment anymore, and it's a pain to use. I kind of feel like this is similar in a way.
Yeah, no, Daedalus didn't lose $600 million.
I was gonna say I don't think that's similar, right? Like Daedalus
Not
is
at all.
just in state. Daedalus is in stable state. You know, it's kind of like, look, we built it. It kind of works. It's fine. It still gets updates, and they're probably working their asses off on like Daedalus Lite and Daedalus Mobile. So like the Daedalus ecosystem is probably still being developed, but like the Daedalus wallet is just on a slower track, right? At least it's still kind of working. I think the thing for me is that like I'm even more scared of just gaming companies. You know, like people in DeFi at least are coming in with like smart contract knowledge. Like to do DeFi, you have to be pretty fucking smart. To do gaming, you don't necessarily have to be super fucking smart. No offense, but like I am not confident that people who get together and say like, "Yo, bro, let's make a game," they're going to be the best security folks at the end of the day. It really doesn't make any sense to me to trust somebody who wants to put a little game together. To trust them with the security of my finances. Seems wild to mix these two things. Like, I don't understand why.
The only thing I'd say is that we were very close to the exact same problem happening on Cardano with Min last week, and it just happened to turn out well. So I don't know. It's like anywhere you go, you're going to have these kinds of problems in new spaces.
Would they have taken 5 days to find it?
I have no idea. They might have.
No way. I call bullshit. I bet you MinSwap would have known if they were in a situation like that, right?
5 days is bullshit.
We actually found the hack in our Discord. Like I watched it real time.
Shall we go to the hands? Go ahead, Hizzy.
Yeah, man. I just wanted to comment on the Ronin hack. Like, one thing I heard, don't know how true it is, was that the hacker immediately sent part of that 0.6 billion to FTX, opened up like a leveraged short on, the AXS token, and he got fucking liquidated because of the 6 days it took them to realize no one gave a shit about his short. Just wild.
That would be funny as shit. CNFT Protege, you got like, I gotta kind of bridge this conversation from the Ronin hack over to an NFT project that we have coming up. So,
my friend, that's why I put my hands up. I'm doing the Lord's work today. I am about to get home and pour my first cup of espresso. Yeah, I haven't had coffee yet, so y'all, whoever's first on the batting plate, yep, get ready. You're gonna get a coffee energized protege, intentfully listening.
not if I remove him and do not grant speaker rights again, because
Bro,
I know he gets once there's coffee. Whew.
Yeah, I'm gonna go on a 1-week vacation again.
Who removed him? That was ignorant.
Protege, I'm supposed to be here to save you from getting muted, but I don't think it's going to work. I'm just putting it out there now.
Yeah, Blockjock was supposed to take one for the team for you. But I
You,
don't know. You're so energized up. I did not do that. So
Blockjock,
yell at Epoch or Lido.
you sent me the Baywatch gif. You were supposed to be my hero. What's it?
I am your hero, bro. But I'm just Hero's actually your hero, but Hero's my hero. But
Be
it is
your
what it is.
hero,
You
baby.
Geminis.
I will
Who's our
kiss
first guest?
away the pain.
So what I want to know is how do you
I will
get to the person
stand
who?
by you
Oh my god!
forever.
How do we get to the person who made the hack, man? Because ultimately, when I hear these things, and
Okay, Blackjack.
there's got to be a way.
I'm pretty sure he would just say he wanted to bridge the conversation.
I'm
Yeah,
literally
I guess
doing a
so.
singing
All right, fine.
interlude. I can't.
And Epoch
Come on.
singing, and Fox still wants to know about getting this money. Like, how can we hack the hacker?
I don't know, man. When that stuff happens, man, it pisses me off. And you know what? That is the worst of the worst of those people like that, man.
He's going to
want
get
to hammer.
caught. He'll be caught. It just takes time. That's why blockchains are open public. It's almost damn.
I have one way to bridge this conversation, Hero, if you'll give me the 10 seconds. I had a conversation with a guy yesterday about Mt. Gox. And apparently, Mt. Gox is paying out investors something to the tune of 17% of what they've lost. And my mind is literally blown. If you don't know what Mt. Gox is, you definitely have gotten more recently, but one of the biggest hacks of early crypto days. And the fact that they're actually getting paid out some like 8 years later is wow. Just so there's hope no matter what happens. Like the long arm of the law or whatever, like maybe it takes 8 years and maybe you only get 17% of it. But mind blown to know that Mt. Gox people have hope 8 years later. So if you're a Mt. Gox person and you don't know what I'm talking about, start Googling.
Wow. I didn't know that they were finally going to pay that out. You know how bad it was like back in 2017, 2018 when people were saying they were going to pay it out. Everybody's like, "Oh my god, the market's going to crash, everybody's going to sell their." Here it is 2022 and you still ain't got your shit. Just saying. So, our first guest is a friend of Cardano Over Coffee. She's part of the Ada Cafe. She's hidden behind World on Wheels, but it's our friend Cook Time.
Good morning, everyone. Yep, I'm hiding.
How are you?
Know to like hop up on, but I gotta represent WoW, so that's why we're here. And I'm doing pretty good. I just started my French press, so yeah, I'm gonna get some coffee in me. Woke up like is that an espresso maker? Is that the steam there?
Yeah, buddy. I'm so excited that it's cook time. I'm so excited.
So, Cook Time, you've been around for a while, but for those that maybe don't know you or don't hang out in the Ada Cafe, which you should join the Discord and come hang out with us all, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Absolutely. Yes, I was part of that first Epoch Discord. Okay, anyways, let me gather my intro. So I've been in the space since last May or June, just listening around. Hero was actually one of the first spaces I was listening in on and started kind of speaking in back in the day. So it's really just really wholesome. It's full circle in a way. I kind of started out with Hero and now I've branched out and started some other projects and lead some spaces myself. So I don't know, it's just so good to see your friends kind of like grow up and just work on some cool shit. So for me personally, I'm a graphic designer, currently focusing and studying more in depth on UI UX. I want to create products that are clean and usable for crypto and Web3. So that's kind of what I am focusing on and freelancing on. I'm really excited and proud of myself that I'm 100% freelancing on the blockchain. I get 100% paid in ADA. It took a little bit to get there, but hey, now we're here, so there's no going back, right? So I actually am the co-founder for Cardano Women. We have spaces for basically everyone is welcome, but it's just like a nice safe space for women to just come and chat and to learn about Cardano. So also I am the creative lead for the Ada Cafe. I'm helping organize and also working on some clocks that are in the work. So now I'm a clockmaker, I guess. And then my third project, which is this bad boy right here, called World on Wheels. And we are a metaverse project. And I know you all are thinking like, oh God, not another metaverse. Like what's going on here? But
What is going on here, Cook Time?
I,
Metaverse.
I assure you, we're going about it a bit differently. First and foremost, our team is a doxed team. We also have 10 people on our team. So if you go on our website, you can see kind of all of our specialties, where we work, and any of our social links if you're interested. And we currently have a few of our team members working for IOG. And so I think this bit of information helps with the aspect of the credibility. We're going to be around working for IOG. You know, you can't fuck around uh, in the sense of, you know, IOG is building upon Cardano, building up the blockchain. So to have developers that are, you know, that's basically what their job has been, is to, you know, work on Cardano. And they kind of came together with a vision and they wanted to create this metaverse. So Fabrizio Shao, he is the founder and he is the only Cardano ambassador that represents IOG. And so Fabrizio, he is an adaptive athlete and he has won 3 national wheelchair basketball championships, which is insane. He's very talented. And outside of the court, of course, his means of transportation is getting around on forms of wheels. So if he's not in his wheelchair, he's driving. And to drive, you're on wheels. So in his life and his perspective, he's always, you know, without the wheel, he really wouldn't be able to get around. And, you know, they call people that are, you know, able bodies that can walk around, you know, we kind of take it for granted that we are able to do these things and with such ease. So he had this vision of like, hey, wouldn't it be great to have this world where everyone's on the same level, on this, they all start out on the same playing field. So the World on Wheels concept was born because this is a metaverse where you can only travel on forms of wheels. And yeah, so it's really exciting. Like the vision is definitely very different from the vision, and the approach is very different from other metaverses where most of the time they just want people to like, oh yeah, here's some blocks, like go build whatever. I think having kind of a restraint in a sense of like, hey, you know, like there's actually a focus, a vision. We want to kind of create a place where there's this level of equality for everyone, and everyone's going to have the same opportunities, whether it's financially or physically in the metaverse. But yeah, so we actually started minting last week. So essentially we're kind of just building up capital. We have a lot of developers and 3D artists that we want to hire to kind of get the show on the road. So our mint price for our land plot, which in our metaverse, which is called the Wheelverse, we call our land plots common ground. Nice play on words there. And the minting price starts at 85 ADA. There is bundling as well, and you are able to mint 20 land plots in one transaction. I know some some members, they kind of got together and they all kind of bought some land together so they could get in on the bundling aspect. So there, you can get with your neighbor. Like that's the whole point of our metaverse. We really want it to be community oriented. When you kind of get your land plots, we want people to be able to just like run over to the neighbor's house like, hey, you want to like switch land plots, or you want to come together and like build this really like sick track. And yeah, so yeah, we just really want to like have a place where everyone can just have a lot of fun and represent their businesses and their brands. um, and we have a lot in store, so check out our website. We have the roadmap, and absolutely join the Discord. That's where all of our official links are, our vision paper, all of that good stuff.
So I'm a big disbeliever in metaverses. So I'm gonna put that out there to you right away. Like I everybody uses this key term, we're building a metaverse, and everybody's building a metaverse, yet I've yet to see anybody actually building a metaverse. They say they are, but what is the metaverse to you? Like, what am I going to be able to do in this plot of land that I buy from you?
Absolutely. So some of it, of course, is just going to be developed as time goes on because we want input from the community. But originally, our vision is, you'll be able to have different forms of wheels, kind of build whatever vehicle you kind of choose. And then we also will have like preset like scooters and bikes and vehicles like that. But I just think the creativity of just like, yeah, let's have like some skate wheels on this like tractor with like these random wheels. I don't know. I just think the meme ability is there. I can't wait to see what people create. But other than that, yeah, you're totally right. It's just going to be another way to kind of visually kind of see the community. What the community wants to necessarily do in that metaverse is completely up to them. But we do want to implement a few things. We want to have a way for people to build tracks. So racing will be a part of it in that sense. And we also want to kind of bridge the real world from the metaverse world with a drive to earn program. We also will be in the next coming months put out a wheels token with the stake pool. The stake pool is kind of already kind of up, and they're just kind of making adjustments on it. So we haven't like officially announced that the stake pool is out yet, but it's actually kind of already been created. So we're trying to like just build upon and show people like, hey, we're making it happen as it goes, and just updating everyone in the process. Go ahead, Lido.
Couple of questions, one silly one serious one. I'll start with the silly one, just in case it's inappropriate. And then I'll ask the serious one. So, when you started the presentation, you called this project, you said this bad boy, and I'm just thinking about the optics here, right? I feel like calling it a bad boy does two things. One, it fuels the stereotype that boys should be bad, and that's what the ladies like. And two, that ladies think it is the Lord's work for them to actively change a man. How does that sit with you?
Yeah, you really called me out there. Uh, so imagine like slapping it like this bad boy, like BOII. I should have used more of like a gender neutral term, because the metaverse is for everybody. Um, yeah, I don't know. It's just like some my nerves just being like, yeah, this project. I mean, it's kind of like my baby. I've been working on it for multiple months in the background. So this is kind of, I'm slowly emerging with it and I'm able to talk about it. So I'm just like, yeah, super proud of it. What was that
Um,
technical question you had?
Yeah, the other one.
Hold on,
Yeah,
Lito.
go ahead, Hero. Go
Before
ahead.
before you jump into the second question, one, I love how you laugh at your own self before you give what you're gonna say. You're like, "Ooh, I got a question," and then you like giggle a little bit, and then you give the question. And every time I'm smiling, I don't know anyone else who does it like you do, Lido. So I just had to mention that. And then two, I totally out of contexted Cook Time and put it at the top because I couldn't resist myself. So keep up the good work, Cook Time.
Thanks, Epoch. It's part of the stake, right? Right. You can come to Cardano Over Coffee for many things. The giggles can be one of them, or chuckle, whatever you call it. The
Hold
second
on.
question.
How the hell do you still have a fist and 100%? I hate you, Epoch. Continue, Lido.
Yeah, that's bullcrap.
I agree. He has to update it. He must have his iPhone on lockdown mode. Do not never update. So okay, nudes. We see you. Sure.
They're both trying to get booted, Lido. Go ahead, continue. Ask your question. Sorry.
Cook time. So this I'm reading a vision paper, and there is some really what's the word? There's some borderline, what I will say, delusional statement about the success of this thing when you're competing against so many metaverses, and people are not going to like actively spend time in multiple metaverses, right? Like, if we're thinking about a place people go to hang out with their friends and like build history and things like that. And when you describe the project, it's, and I'm reading the vision paper right now too. This sounds like a game. Like, why are you not building a game with interoperability for existing metaverses?
Yeah, absolutely. I totally get what you're talking about. I think if you see probably on the roadmap or on that vision paper down the line at the end of this year, so part of the vision is being able to kind of create bridges to other metaverses so that people can kind of hop in and out of metaverses within Cardano and then eventually cross chain. Because the whole point of community is kind of building with others. And I don't think that we should isolate ourselves. And I don't think there should only be one metaverse per blockchain because there's a lot of different themes and ideas and concepts that each metaverse can kind of host. So long term, that's part of our vision is just, hey, like we also want to, build bridges and portals, maybe we don't know what it looks like yet, but being able to kind of branch into the other metaverses, being able to use, their tokens, switch them, all that stuff essentially, and be able to just kind of hop into one for maybe some resources that you want. Maybe you want to come to ours for like some vehicles and you bring those vehicles over to the other metaverses essentially. So that's also part of the vision. So I hope that answered your question, Lido.
Yeah, cool. I think definitely the metaverse project that will actually trigger my ape instinct will be the one that put that stuff first, or that bridging and interoperability, and like really focus on that portability of assets and imports and things like that. Because I feel like you're right, there's not going to be one metaverse per blockchain. Also, I feel like a metaverse that's not interoperability will either not be sustainable because people get bored pretty quickly, um, or it's just going to be hard to like get that traction, like, right? And I hate to see people put their life into something and then not reach the kind of scale and volume of participation it takes for it to be financially viable, right? But yeah, that definitely answers my question. Blockchain, you have your hand up. Are you? But then now it's down. Anybody else has a question?
Yeah, how many land plots? How many land plots are there?
There are 22,222 land plots with our first sale. Something to note is our metaverse is actually going to be in the shape of a wheel. So right now we are kind of putting out the land plots that are on one surface. So when you mint the land plot, you'll see that there's actually three coordinates, a Z coordinate. And that is because in our third land plot sale, we will be going 3D and we'll be able to, you guys will be able to kind of purchase land on the tread of the tire and the opposite side of the tire as well. So yeah, very creative. We said we don't want just a sphere for a world. Go ahead, Blockjack or Epoch.
So I'm just doing the math here. 22,000 times, you said 85 per land plot?
Yes, sir.
So about 1.9 million
Yes, sir.
if you sell out. And then the second, there's another land sale that'll be 3D, and we don't know the price of that yet, right?
Right. This is just we just have the pricing for the first land sale at the moment.
Do you know how many land sales you're planning on doing in the totality of the bootstrapping of the network, of the world?
In total, I don't know the specific number, but I know this drop will be 22,000. Next drop's going to be 32,000, and the one after that is around 52,000.
Got it. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, that's a lot of assets. I mean, it makes sense if you're saying there's a 10-person team. So like, I think 1.8 million for 10 people to make it happen is actually pretty reasonable. I will say though that just like from a different project, I forget what it was. It was like Cardano City, I think it was. Like that model really like rubbed me the wrong way, because it was like so obviously gamified to extract as much money from people as possible, right? Kind of with no respect of people's time and money, hey, we have 15 different tiers and we're going to sell 200,000 fucking units and we're going to just keep increasing the price every time some arbitrary threshold number is hit. Obviously you're not doing that rather than 10 levels or 12 levels, there's 3 levels or something. And instead of however 250,000, maybe there's like 100 some thousand. But I will say it does make me slightly uncomfortable knowing that there's so many assets kind of being launched and planned before, we're going to see kind of functioning metaverse stuff. How finalized are those plans?
Yeah, that's very fair and also very valid to bring up. So basically, it's starting to raise the capital to start the development. We are gonna need to hire a lot of developers and a lot of 3D artists to build out these assets. So it's kind of like a mix of all of that. So I mean, after the first, I mean, even now, currently, we're actively trying to recruit to get some other developers interested in the project, kind of be ready to onboard them and pay them essentially, because it's important to pay the artists and to pay the developers what they deserve. And essentially, right now, our team, of 3 of them, right now are in NFTLA, doing meetups, talking about the project, all of that. So I would say it's like simultaneously we are trying to build as we go along, as we gain the capital. And also in that context, essentially, we want to see what the input with the community is as well. So along the way, I'm not saying this is 100% going to happen. It's one of those things where we will consistently be talking to our community, hearing the feedback, and adjusting from there as well. So it's not just like this is why it's like the vision paper, like this is what we envision, but it doesn't necessarily mean that maybe all of these things are going to happen, because if our community is like, oh, we don't want racing, we want maybe something else, maybe we want to build a real life vehicle or car and then see it get 3D printed and then sent to the person's house. Like maybe people just want something like that. We don't know. That's why we're just waiting and building up the community. And we see down, or at least I see down here, we have a few people that are in the Discord that are listening and supporting. So thank you, Abe, down there. But yeah, I hope that answered that question as well. And you guys can, yeah, just ask anything. I know I'm kind of like a friend to the community and you've seen me around, but don't be afraid to dig in and ask those hard questions. I'm here for it.
All right, how many devs do you have?
I was going to ask that.
Yeah, we currently have 4 developers.
All right, and how many are in marketing? You said 3 are at the NFT con, so is the 3 people the marketing team?
No, actually the 3 is Fabrizio Shao, Jara, the co-founder, and another an ambassador. So I would say that would be marketing. So for marketing, I would say we have about 3 people that are dedicated to, one is kind of in the IRL world, talking to people in real life. And then we have one that's like specifically for Twitter, and then myself that's kind of running the overall branding campaign in that essence.
Wow, so your marketing to dev ratio is actually somewhat balanced. It's almost 4 and 4, sounds like.
Yes, and I think it helps that
Hmm.
developer Jara, who works for IOG, he kind of heads the NFT department there. So I think it's very helpful. He kind of has that pre-existing knowledge of like kind of how the ecosystem operates, and he's able to kind of identify, the pain points of this type of project and the types of people they need to bring on to develop it.
Is it fair to say that right now it's really more of an NFT project from a tech perspective? Is there actual work being done on like a world, or is the development resources and the work being put into NFT vending, NFT design, and NFT publishing?
So
you said no easy questions, so the gloves came off. But
Wow, that was a rough one. Like I've never heard you ask somebody something like that before. I'm impressed, Epoch.
So I would say maybe it's a bit of a half and half, because I'm not saying, I mean, obviously, so to the fact of like the development to the wheelverse, is there code that has been written for that wheelverse? To my knowledge, no, not yet. We're in the kind of raising capital stage. To the essence of, are we actively building the wheelverse? In my terms of like building, there's a shit ton of planning that goes into it. There's a lot of strategy. There's just a lot of conversations just with the team on like how we want to go about things. What do we introduce first? How do we talk about this language? How do we present it to our community? What does the visuals look like? So to that essence of building there, yes, that type of building is being done and is currently in our team kind of data bank. We kind of have those types of things rolling out. But as to the question of like physically maybe the code to the actual metaverse, I can tell you to that point, no. So I kind of see it maybe a little bit half and half. Yes, a project to have those land plots and things like that. But yeah, we have a web map that's basically being developed at this moment. So there's like nuances that are happening.
I appreciate the honest answer there. I think that, to respond, I would really just call that research and design. It's actually a debate that I have with my fiat company all the time. It's like, let's start implementation. And they think that everything is implementation outside of the business decision to do something. And it's just not true. Like research takes time, and it's a part of design as well, right? Building a product vision is critical before you even build any like actual code. So, technically it's okay that you haven't started writing code if you are doing a good job building the right design framework and the right research, right? So ultimately, kind of makes sense that you're bootstrapping right now, and you're kind of trying to collect funds to hire people and to build out the team. So I think I have a pretty good understanding of where you're at now with that. I appreciate it.
So I have one question before we get to the hands, right? If, I've really kind of have calmed down with buying NFTs. I haven't just been degening into everything, right? I've been looking at a lot of teams and have been investing more in teams that I think that will succeed, right? Where can I go to find out more information on your whole entire team?
Absolutely. You can just click on the nice little wow icon right here. And in our bio to our Twitter, we will have the website, and we also have the link to the Discord. So the community relies really heavily on Discord, and that's great. And it works for those people that like Discord. But what we're doing is we're trying to put all the information that we have on Discord, we're trying to put it also on our website, because there's a lot of people in the older generations that, I mean, they don't have to necessarily be the older generation. I don't have to like call them out like that. But just there's some people that, straight up they don't know Discord, they don't understand Discord, and they've probably never heard of it unless you're probably very in the tech scene, or you're into gaming. You probably don't understand what Discord is. So for someone to like have to say make a wallet, learn about Cardano, learn about Discord just to like get into Discord to understand what's going on, it's that learning curve is huge. So we're trying to do everything we can to like eliminate that, in the sense that we're putting a ton of our information, basically all of it, also on our website, so that it's kind of accessible to everyone in that essence.
Awesome. Thank you. I'm definitely going to look into more of the team. 3D Kiwi, I think you were first, and then Block, and then Hazy.
Hi, Hero Pool. Hi, Cooktime. Thank you for doing the introduction. I'm known for working in the Pavia Metaverse as a community developer, so I do it by myself, for myself, and the community, of course. I just wanted to ask a question, but it's absolutely not related to that. I'm interested to know about how is it possible to have a good ping between, I don't know, Europa and some place in Australia, which is pretty much opposite on the Earth, on the globe. So, because many metaverses talk about like games and racing and nervous games, and I was just wondering how can we tackle this difficulty, because for me it seems a bit. I mean, as I've been a player myself, so I remember playing StarCraft with some people in New Zealand, and it was hard because of the ping. I don't know if there is any answer. It's very technical.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I don't really understand what you mean by the ping and this.
So what he's kind of means, right, is if you've ever played any games and you're playing online with other people, right, which is the metaverse, online with other people. Well, that person who I'm playing with in, we'll just say in California, right, they're seeing that game at a different speed than I am, because internet takes time to spread across the country, right? That's kind of like the basic, right? So how in metaverse are we going to hold that all together, where I can hang out with somebody in Australia and we don't have issues with internet connection and that type of thing? And I don't know that you'll be able to answer that, but I think that's a never really thought of that. So
It's the word's lag, right? How do you reduce lag in a system? And that is a good question, and it's not one they would have solved by now if they're selling NFTs.
Yeah. So to what Hero and Epoch was saying, me personally, I'm heading kind of the design creative front of the project. So that technical question, I do apologize, I don't have the answer to for now, but it's something that I just wrote down, and I wrote down, your username. So I can bring it to the team in our next meeting. We can talk about it, and we can tweet it out to you if you want.
I can tell you how we solve it in the traditional technical world, non-blockchain, and that's simple. It's called clustering or regions. So, if you've played any more modern games, you probably have selected you're in the US region or the Europe region or, US1, US2. So they try to break it out by locale by literally just saying you guys are closer to each other, so lag will be less, right? At the end of the day, like data, it needs to travel through space, and that requires velocity. And the farther the distance, right, the velocity and time matter, right? D equals VT. So this is going to be a problem
Physics.
for everyone, for every metaverse company. The idea of creating an actual metaverse that's global is not something that even the biggest gamers are doing. The biggest gaming companies on the planet do not attempt this.
Because it's better to focus the resources in one area than having, that makes a lot of sense for sure. And yeah, I will make sure that it's something that we actively discuss and kind of figure out the best solution to it. Because the blockchain is global. So, I mean, it might be one of those
It's
things.
global, but it's slow, right?
Right.
Like it takes 20 seconds to make a block. So imagine if you do some shit and it takes 20 seconds for you to even get it on there. And then how many seconds does it take for confirmations to come in? Right. So then we need even more confirmation time. So we're taking minutes. Like imagine if you're trying to like say hello and shake someone's hand and it takes like 2 minutes to like shake someone's fucking hand. So this is why when you're actually building a game, you don't actually put a bunch of stuff on the actual blockchain. And this goes for actually any business. So if you're a business right now thinking you're going to quote unquote run on the blockchain, you need to sit down with the tech person and have a conversation about, how to get a good tech person.
You could run on a layer 2, right? But
you could attempt, but it's a question of what's on chain versus what's off chain. Like that's the classic question, and Nick asks this every time we start an engagement with a client, which is, hey, you want to do something? Why are you telling me that this has to be on the blockchain? Because we get requests all the time. It's like, hey, I want to do this in a smart contract. And it's like, do you actually want to do this in a smart contract, or do you want to solve this problem of the user trying to do X? Because if you want to do that, maybe you want a centralized machine that's going to issue that for you. So answering what actually exists on the blockchain in a very specific way is probably the single most important thing you can do for your business model. Just Epoch advice.
How are we doing on time?
We're over. I need to get to Blockjock and then the last question, and then we'll get Serenity's here. Pumpkin, she'll be fine.
Thank you for the answer, by the way.
Hey, Cook Time. So first off, they couldn't have picked a better front person to come out and speak on a project. And in my personal interactions with you, I have found you to be very honest. You're very thorough, and you listen intently to whoever is speaking at the time that they're speaking. And that's a quality that not everybody has. So continue with that. But I like Epoch. I don't have all the questions Epoch has, but once he asked them, I realized that's the questions I need to be asking. And the NFT project, I think, is great. And I am not a DJ like Hero, and I don't jump into things immediately. But I do like supporting projects because of the people who are involved in them. So the key is, I think, is that, yes, I love you and what you do for Cardano, but having someone else on that is more of the developer type that could answer some of the tougher questions technically, because the long-term roadmap, I don't think is there yet, and where you guys are really, really going with it. And it's important for me, if I'm investing in a long-term fashion, to know all of those things before I put any money into it, or any ADA into it, but in the short term, what you guys are doing, and then a roadmap or a light paper would be in some ways helpful for me, just to give me an idea of where you guys are going in the short term. And of course, meeting all of the team members, which would be the other thing. Having an AMA or something like that with everybody, that would probably be the best bet. But I look forward to everything that you do in the future here. And I'm a bit of a softball guy when it comes to people that I love in this community. So good luck in the future here.
I appreciate you, Blockjock. So we actually have some recorded Twitter spaces when we firstly initially went live. So on our Discord in the official links, we have some interviews from some other shows that we were on. So if you wanted more information in that regard, we have those up. And I don't disagree with you. You know, having the full team looks really good. Having all the developers, it's really important. So yeah, I was actually, we were kind of scheduled for last week, and unfortunately, there was, you know, there was a hiccup. It's all good.
Listen, Hero Pool or somebody fucked it up, so you could blame that on me. I'll take one for the team. It was my fault.
Okay, so that means I could mute Hero then, Epoch? Is there a way for me to mute Hero right now?
There you go. He tried, but it didn't work.
Yes.
Love it.
Currently in LA, or they're flying back home. Most of the team, they're actually in New York. And last month, I had the great opportunity to get flown up to meet Fabrizio Shao in person and a few of the developers. So that was really great. But yes, I know we're running low on time. So Hazy, you can close us out with the last question, and then we can get to Pumpkin afterwards.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much. Yeah, so it's just like a couple of points. First one is like how do you intend on making revenue like after the land sales complete? Like, will it be through royalties or in-game purchases, that kind of stuff? And the second question is, will the land be allocated from like the center of the world outwards? Because what I've noticed on a lot of other metaverses is unoccupied plots just take up so much space, and there's so much, you know, as I say, unused space between different plots, and it makes it really bad. And you can't do anything about it after launch because you can't relocate people's plots they've bought and paid for it. So yeah, there's big question. It can ruin a metaverse, I've found.
Yeah, absolutely. So to the revenue after the minting closes, we do have 3% royalties, and that does go back into World on Wheels, but that goes into kind of the development aspect of like hiring new people and things like that. So, I mean, other than that, we are going to be launching the stake pool. We'll be having a token. There's also some other IRL. I don't think I can talk about it right now. It's not on our roadmap, but we have a way where you'll be able to kind of like be in person for kind of like a car.
She's saying stay tuned. Stay tuned.
Kind of like a car club situation in person. Anyways, so and then there's just a lot of little nuances like that that will be able to help us with revenue, but most of it is going directly to developers and 3D artists. So other than that, your second question was regarding land allocation. I might have misinterpreted this, so I'll kind of like spitball it the way I heard it. So right now, what's happening is we're kind of going from the outside in. So the outside of the wheel, we have a portion, the 22,000 that's available, and then after that gets sold out, then we'll go inwards into the next drop. So we're kind of going to keep the mint open until all the lands get sold. And to that point, of course, people are kind of like, oh, but this is like going to take maybe a slow amount of time to sell out. And it's like, sure, yeah. We're not here trying to shill the shit out of our metaverse. We're not trying to get people who are flippers to like get in on the land. Like that's not that's not our ethos. That's not what we're trying to necessarily support. Like people are going to do it no matter what, because that's just the way of the game. But we have no problem just hanging out, developing as we go along. And even if it's slow, it's fine. Like we're not stressing over that aspect, I would say. Go ahead, Epoch.
I would say that that's definitely fair. I would just call out that like there are reasons to sell out, and it's not just for hype generation, right? Like from a metaverse perspective, if everything is really sparse and everybody's really spread out, and in later stages you're trying to create activity in the metaverse, and you have massive areas of your metaverse that are not accessible because you have a bunch of people who like aped in and like didn't do anything with it, right? Like that's not great, right? That hurts the attractiveness of the metaverse. So that's one thing. The second thing is that if you guys aren't like aggressively watching what Decentraland is doing, I would do so. Because they started well before any other metaverse company, and the way they did it was a 2D plot, and they did auctions. It was actually complicated at a floor price, and then it turned into an auction after that, and they had multiple ways to really make sure that they kind of got all of the plots out there. And I thought the auction was an interesting piece of saying like, hey, this is actually going to be a really awesome piece of plot. So like this plot, like we want users to battle over, so they could actually have a lower mint price on the average plot, but then on the plots that mattered, the whales could battle. And then they also like have ways of combining plots to create estates. They're pretty mature, and they're probably one of the most sophisticated metaverse companies on the planet. So my advice is to definitely make sure you know every pitfall that they have made. And then the last thing I'm going to say, because I know we're running out of time, is I put a video at the top. I just tweeted this out. I suggest everyone watches this. It's called The Art of Innovation, Guy Kawasaki. Very smart dude. And he talks a lot about like what it takes for a company to survive and what it means to jump curves. And I love that he talks about how to define your mantra of a company, right? If you define yourself as someone who delivers ice to people, well, when people no longer want ice to be delivered to them, your company's fucked. You're out of a job, and so is everybody you employed, because you defined yourself as a company that delivers ice, right? Not an innovative ice company, or you know what I mean? So think about like that video, and the question I will ask the next time you're here is kind of what is your mission as a company, and what is your mantra as a company? But I don't want you to answer that now. I'd love for you to watch the video and maybe come back on the show at another time.
Absolutely, and I appreciate that. I'll definitely bookmark it. Yeah, just some closing, quick closing. Let me specify in the sense that, of course, of course, the goal is to eventually, sell out and things like that. But I'm saying to the sense of we're not like pressing it. We want it to be organic growth, and we recognize that the space right now is pretty quiet, and all that we are kind of communicating to the community is that we're just going to be consistent. We're going to be giving weekly updates, and we'll be here. We want everyone to do their own research. Like just because you know me as Cook Time, and just because I've been around, sure, I totally understand you guys want to support me, and I love you and I appreciate you guys for that. But at the same time, do your own research. If metaverses aren't your thing, that's totally okay. Like you don't have to purchase whatever you don't want to purchase. You know what I mean? That's your ADA. But just do the research. If you actually genuinely believe in the project, that's kind of the ethos we're going for in that sense. But we are actively working on partnerships. I'll be hosting Twitter Spaces weekly on this World of Wheels account. So yeah, just follow this account for updates. You can turn on the bell notification to get basically notified on Twitter that we have tweeted. Join our Discord, turn on the announcements. We have an announcement channel and we have a weekly announcement channel. But yeah, I am Cook Time. Thank you so much for listening in on this little interview on World on Wheels. This is Cardano Over Coffee. Thank you, Hero, Epoch, Lido, Blockjock, 3D Kiwi, and everyone else that asked questions.
Listen, the other co-hosts that are here, you're all fired. I'm hiring her.
Yeah, I noticed she called on us to answer our own questions. She was like, "Go ahead, Epoch, it's your turn." I was like, "Damn, has anyone ever done that before?"
Listen, I love Cook Time, and I'm going to do some research because I truly think metaverses are an investment, but they're an investment for the future. So if I'm going to invest in something for the long term, like I did with Cardano, I did a shit ton of research, right? So that's what I will be doing on Worlds on Wheels. I want to thank you, Cook Time, for taking the time out of your day. And I do apologize about last week. That was totally my fault, apparently. So
it's all good.
Appreciate it. Now, we have another exciting guest after this one. However, I need Lido to do his quick minute thing.
Oh, perfect. I also want to do my little random palate cleanser to prepare us for the next guest. Where is it? And so today, the random quote that I picked for cooked time, for post cooked time, World on Wheels presentation is this: I wanted to change the world, but I found that the only thing one can be sure of changing is oneself. And I roll right into the Lighter Minute. This is your Lighter Minute on Cardano Over Coffee this week in Catalyst. Veteran community advisors, there were 250 people that qualified to fill this role. They are going through and reviewing all of those proposals that you flagged and just validating that the community advisors did the best quality work possible. So that's going to go on for another 11 days, and then those proposals will be migrated over to the app for voters. And so the biggest thing for most of the people in this room is, as a voter, make sure you have your QR code, make sure you're registered to vote. The next snapshot for how much voting power you will have is going to be April 7, 11 a.m. UTC. My name is Darlington, your favorite co-dreamer at Lido Nation. LidoNation.com provides hype-free education in plain English, Swahili, and Spanish in written and audio formats. We have a few proposals in Catalyst to help with that work. I'll pin a page to our site to the top. Check them out. We will love your vote when they go to the app. TCT, what's up?
Yeah, so I had a question. I posed it in the Catalyst Advisors channel, but I didn't get much of an answer. So, when we're using that tool to actually go through and check reviews, right, and try to filter out like bot reviews or bad reviews. If we come across what we would consider bot reviews on other proposals, not our proposal, should we still flag those? And I mean like obvious bot reviews that just are like one word, like all 5 stars, yes, great.
Yes, you should flag those and definitely post it. I would just drop the link in that channel too and flag them.
Cool. Okay.
I want to say thank you, Lido, for shouting out Catalyst. I think it's really important that we talk Catalyst, and I think it's really important that the people that have proposals out there get their proposals out to the crowd. So here on Cardano Over Coffee, anybody who has a proposal, Thursdays and Fridays are slotted for you to come up and speak about your proposals specifically to the crowd. Obviously, today's Thursday. We don't have anybody from Catalyst because I have 0 Catalyst proposals signing up again. This is the second time, Fund 8, the last 2 funds that we've done this, and I've yet to have anybody really want to sign up. We had sessions the other day. I get a few. We had Dana. Again, the floor's open. If you want to come up and present, if you are involved in Catalyst, I would appreciate that you reach out to somebody that has a proposal, or if you know somebody that has a proposal, tell them that this platform is here for them to come speak about it. Epoch?
You're a proposal.
You are a proposal.
I know. We have one. It's called the Ada Cafe. Have people voted on that? Are they going to? Because if we don't pull it off the second time, I'm just going to fucking quit. I'm going to go buy a place in the Bahamas, and I'm just going to be done with it.
Well, you can quit. I'll just quit Catalyst. I'm going to still be here. I don't care.
Hey. All this quitting talk is for quitters. You knock that off right now.
Listen,
Okay, let's get to our guest.
I'm just part of that Ada Cafe, who is great, and I think they deserve to get funded for what they do. So, truthfully,
I will quickly plug the Ada Cafe because the Ada Cafe is actually the only place in Cardano right now that has increased my bags. My pool drains my bag. My NFT purchases drains my bag. But I've gotten one payment from the Ada Cafe for the stuff we're doing, and that was the first time it was like, oh, hey, I'm making money, not spending
It's true.
money.
We got paid, and we got an NFT. We got the NFT, the Epoch on-chain clock.
Yeah.
So we're basically making money somehow.
Don't tell the tax man. So anyhow,
Oh shit, we're not making money. I take that back. There's nothing being made.
I'm kidding. Obviously, obviously pay your taxes or they will arrest you. World on Wheels, go ahead, and then we're going to get to our next guest.
Yeah, just really quick for Project Catalyst to register to vote. Registering to vote ends on the 7th, and the minimum requirement to be able to register to vote is having 500 ADA in your wallet. I think there are a few resources, some videos that people have made in the past on how to go about like registering if you haven't. But yeah, just that deadline is the 7th to register to vote, and then you'll be able to vote on proposals.
LidoNation.com for all your Catalyst information. Great resource, seriously. Or reach out to anybody that's up here if you haven't been involved in Catalyst and you have questions. Epoch, Lido, TCT, me, Block, everybody. We'll help you. Promise you. Maybe not Epoch. He might confuse you. But anyhow, neither here nor there on that one. Our next guest.
You want me to mid-roll or fuck it? Let's plow forward.
No, we're gonna move on. We don't have a sponsor today, so we're behind.
All right. Well, quick reminder: get your ADOF exchanges. Okay, thanks. Bye.
And stake it to Lido or Epoch or Hero, but not TCT, because you don't have a pool.
Nailed it. Was that the abridged version? We just did the abridged. I liked it.
I'm in. I like it. Our next guest has been here before, and I'm excited. I'm excited for what they do. I like independent movies. I like independent produced movies. Some of my favorite movies of all time are independent produced movies. So I'm excited to see what Serenity Pictures is going to do here on the Cardano blockchain over the long haul. Pumpkin, how are you?
Hello. How do you always know it's me? Because we're 3 guys behind Serenity. You're so lucky.
I just figured it's either you or I'm going to get yelled at. One of the two.
It's me. It's always me, but yeah, I just wanted to put some spice. Yeah, hi. It's wonderful to be here again. I was actually excited the whole day. I was gardening while Cookstime was talking about World of Wheels, and I love it. It began to snow right now, so perfect timing. So yeah, I just cleaned up, and now I'm here with a cup of chai.
That's awesome. So I know you've been on the show before, and I know you have a current drop going on that you probably want to talk about. But can you give us a little background for those that don't know who you are, Pumpkin, and also what Serenity Pictures is doing?
Oh yeah, I'd love to. So I'm one of 3 filmmakers who make Serenity Pictures. We are a team that makes movies for the last 15 years. It's myself. I'm a director and creative producer, so it means I make dresses and costumes, I make sets and props. Our another man is Carlos. He is also a director, and he is a marvelous editor. He's a true post-production magician. And we have Ivo, who not only is a very, very meticulous producer, he makes sure we never get over time or run out of it, but he also loves paperwork, which is absolutely magical in the film industry. And we met about 5 years ago. Before that, I myself was a music video director. I made a hell of a lot of music videos for gothic rock bands, heavy metal, and so on. Then I went over to wildlife documentary filmmaking, so mainly underwater nautic, because I'm also a diver. So I used to film sharks and turtles and coral reefs for a while. And then when I met the guys on a film festival, we connected. We were on the same level right away, and the guys basically introduced me to feature film and filmmaking in terms of fiction. That wasn't anything I had done before. We made our first short film together back in the days because the guys already had a Star Wars fan film, a short film, which is absolutely magical. So we made our short film. It ended up being on Amazon Prime, and it won a couple of awards. And we thought, hey, this works. We're gonna do it. And then 3 years ago, we made our first feature film. It's called Clay's Redemption. It's very low key. It's shot from the hip, but it has very beautiful high production value. We basically just wanted to see if we can make a feature film at all, because you have to marry yourself for 2 years or more to something, an idea and a team and everything. So we made Clay, and it turned out to be absolutely wonderful. I'm very, very proud of it. Carlos directed it. I creative produced it. And it ended up the traditional way. So it was distributed throughout film industry, and is now on Amazon, Apple, iTunes, and so on. Then we noticed that our movie and the movies of our friends, our friend directors who also have movies on Amazon and Netflix, just kind of like stagnated. So you work on it for ages, you put a lot of time and money and effort in it, and then it comes out, and the next day it just disappears because a new movie comes out. Especially as an indie filmmaker, there's a lot of stuff out there right now, and throughout the lockdown especially, the film industry had changed. So yeah, right after Clay was out, 3 months later we started making Toxica. Said, okay, we want to go bigger, better, the second movie is always a bigger thing. So we shot like car chase, motorbike chases. We shot fight scenes, high value fight scenes. We shot more locations, more people, bigger plot, and we shot in Indonesia as well as London and Brighton. So the movie was done literally 3 days before lockdown. We had no idea what was going on with COVID because we were so damn busy. We didn't sleep. We only headed home, had a shower, made more coffee, and made some veggie burritos, and went back to set. And we filmed all over England, like the south of England. So yeah, nobody had time to read the news. Then everybody went sick, and we thought we are detoxing, but actually we had COVID. And throughout the entire pandemic, we finished the movie. So Carlos edited, I myself guided the whole endeavor, and got a wonderful composer on board who also worked for Westworld Season 3 and now works on a DC Batman animated movie. And he's fantastic. So, and then we have sound designers made Foley, which means when you don't get a proper sound, you have to recreate the sound at home with your cooking equipment, worst case. So yeah, the movie was basically then finished last year in the beginning of September. And by that point, not only did we watch the film industry change significantly, we also had a hell of a lot of offers from distributors who wanted to put our movie on Shudder, on Netflix, or whatever. So I say honestly that I sat there, we read it many, many times. We thought about it for months. And knowing what happened to Clay, what happened to our friends' movies, I just felt like I was not happy that I not only would have the exposure for my team, because you want to get hired, you want to make your next movie. And if you don't have exposure, there's no point doing it. And you would have paid $2 to $3 million to have marketing. And we were slightly short of that, obviously. And we just simply thought, okay, there is nothing in there for us. The money wasn't good. The IP would have gone away. They would have literally bought our movie for 10 years. And if they want to make a sequel or prequel or whatever without you, they can do that. And I felt very uncomfortable. So Carlos and I went out drinking and dancing, met a friend who works in Cardano for a very, very long time. And he said, look, why not try something new? Because you have a finished product. Why not go out there and just try something new? You can always sell it to Netflix if it doesn't work because we have the offer. So yeah, you have nothing to lose. And so we started checking out Cardano and Ethereum and other blockchains, and so that Cardano, in terms of mentality and the way they see things and the rebel spirit it has, quite obviously, is for us, because that's what we need. We cannot have people telling us what is impossible and sharing their limitations, because, you know, everybody has their own limitations, but ours was nowhere near the limitations of the film industry, because they told us how impossible it is to make Toxica while we were making it. So yeah, we thought we need someone who trusts us, who trusts into progress, and who just doesn't care about rules and just, you know, goes onwards, just always forward. And that was Cardano. And yeah, here we are minting phase 1.2 right now, and the movie's coming out next month.
And for those of you who haven't seen Serenity pictures, there's definitely some pinned posts up top. There's a little peek into the world of Toxica, the movie. I'm excited for this. Like, NFT started a little over a year ago, and that was all art, right? Whether it was generative or on chain or whatever. Then you started to see music trickle in, and now you're starting to see movies and other innovations off of NFTs, and just the way that NFTs can change industries. This is very exciting to me. So, what has been your biggest challenge so far? And then we can talk about your phase drop that you have going on, and maybe talk a little bit about the character that it revolves around.
Well, the biggest challenge for sure was making the movie because, as usual, if you don't have a massive budget and you don't have 50 people in your crew, by the way, we are 5 people who made this movie, minus actors, obviously, you face challenges, and you cannot just buy your way or handle your way out of it sometimes. So, for example, if a scene doesn't work out the way you want because the location isn't free, or you run out of time, or something just goes wrong. I mean, a storm was coming up at the time. We had to change completely. It might be that you not only not have that scene, but it might be that you not have a movie. So the pressure was always there. We were running on plan B, C, and D, but we had to change the plot several times and still making it, you know, match what we had already shot. So that was for sure a challenge, and it was much more tricky than the stuff on Clay's Redemption, where we literally just were like, we shot from the hip, guerrilla, but Toxica was more planned out. Yeah, that was something that gave me a couple of white hair throughout the 2 years. And then coming to Cardano, first I thought, okay, I'm gonna learn a new language, I'm gonna learn a new mentality. And then I joined the first space, and I thought, oh dear, this is more me than the film industry is me. So we all listened in, all 3 of us, and we thought, okay, we can do this, all right. So it was easier for us to adapt to something that is organically within us than the film industry, where we had to learn for years and years how to chest bang, how to be the loudest, you know, because otherwise you get nowhere. Hence, I'm still a little bit like me, you know, when it comes to spaces. I text people and say, hey, what about me? I'm not in it, and I need to be. But yeah, I still try and getting rid of it a bit. But I think that the most tricky part really was making the movie, and it wasn't hard to jump. It wasn't hard to say, okay, let's walk away from the film industry for a while, you know, and try something new. That was much easier than I thought it would be. So yeah, the tricky part now is the technical one. Our team works with Retro NFTs and Supensando, and they help us, or they develop the entire technical stuff. So, you know, the movie can be a CNFT. Today we had a test right before this space here, and it looks marvelous. I'm very proud.
Well, that's awesome to hear. That's good news, right? It's always good to have good news. Can you tell us a little bit about the movie, like what you can reveal? I know that there was a trailer that was dropped. There's not many of them out there, and as you have told me, I shouldn't be upset because it was a test, but I'm still upset because I missed it. So whatever. Second off, then you have an NFT drop going on behind one of the characters on the movie, if I'm correct.
Yeah, totally. Well, yeah, the trailer was really just to find our audience and to see if Cardano is the right blockchain for us. It wasn't many, that's true, 65 in total, but that was 65 people more interested in our project than anywhere else. So we made the decision to move on. Now, at the moment, you can mint Augusta. She's the lady you see in my PFP. And she is the anti-hero of Toxica. She's basically a former stunt woman who suffered a self-inflicted incident, self-inflicted problem, and cannot work anymore. So she basically is now a dodgy PI. She beats people up for a living, gets some money for it, and she, throughout the story, goes deeper and deeper into the underbelly of this nameless dark city she just moved to. She's basically very much alone. She has not many people she can trust, and on top of that, she's running out of cash. And then she also gets infected by an ancient mythological compound. So it's basically Lovecraftian horror elements within an action adventure movie. It is very heavily inspired by the 1990s movies of the same genre, such as, for example, The Mummy, 1999, or The Relic, or Phantoms, or Mimic. Like all these super fun, incredibly engaging and adventurous flicks we just love to watch. And, you know, even from Jurassic Park to Indiana Jones, like all these adventure stuff. And I just love it. And yeah, and Augusta is basically a reluctant hero, and she is also a hero that might go dark with every new turn she takes, and which makes her more relatable. She is not perfect, and what I'm very proud of is that she is very feminine as well. She's not a masculine woman. She is a woman who knows very well her vulnerability and knows how to use it. You know, she's a mix of a femme fatale and a motorbike driving badass. And yeah, which is fun because she was originally written as a man, and we didn't get the actor, and I didn't change a single word of apart from the name, obviously, when a female actress came to us and asked for the job. So yeah, it just works for both. It is not gender dependent, and that I think makes her more inspiring, really.
That's awesome. When Blockchain Movie Awards?
Oh man, since the Oscars have become a dumpster fire in the last couple of years, I would love to.
Wow, right? You know?
No punching though, and no scratching, no spitting either. Just get up there, get your award, say thanks to your mom, and go home.
Pumpkin, can you just walk up and just slap Hero right in the cheek and give him a big smile and let him know it's okay? That'd be the best.
Wow.
I'm ashamed. To everyone here in this space, I apologize for the thuggish film industry. This is not what we want to be. So please give us a chance. We're not all like that.
No. So if anybody has any questions, feel free to request and come up. Tell me a little bit about the NFT drop. What's the cost? How many of them are there? When can I expect the film drop? When am I getting a film at the Rare Bloom event, like a premiere? I mean, let's talk for a couple years down the road. Just saying, just putting that out there.
Oh yeah, I mean, from the Augustus we have here now, we have 2,500 in total. These include rarities, which means that Augusta every now and then, apart from having a different style all the time, also has little tiny gadgets. And these gadgets are related to the movie and will unlock extra material, but I'm not going to say too much for now because you're going to find it out. And the super rares is the one, for example, you see in my PFP here right now. She has the vines, and that's a super rare Augusta. I've seen surprisingly many popping up, so I think you have to hurry to get the super rares. And if you have one of those Augustas, you also have something we call the multipass. And the multipass is basically your VIP access, and you can unlock extra material. And that is the same benefits and utilities you had for the trailer, for example. So the trailer people have that, and the Augusta people will get the same, as well as the film people. So yeah, 2,500 Augustas, including rares and super rares. It's now 40 ADA for one Augusta. So that's that. And the movie is coming out on the 17th of April, and I'm slightly scared, but more excited because I cannot wait to see the reaction of the people. Like, nobody has seen it, only our team. We didn't even have a cast and crew screening, but we plan one of those in London. So yeah, I definitely gonna shout out to that. We will have a mint party on the 17th of April. So yeah, check out that you ping our little bell, so you don't miss it. And we're very, very excited for the first reactions. We will have cast and crew in there. A couple of people will turn up and just join the party. And further down the road, to be honest, we just want to make movies. We have a massive slate of movies we want to make. I, for one, have a horror western based on Native American and Alaskan lore, but not the Wendigo. We've seen that 85 times, so we do something new. I wrote it 6 years ago. I'm still working a little bit on the polishing. Carlos would love to make something he knows literally everything about, which is a Beatles film based on a coming-of-age moment in John Lennon's life before the Beatles almost didn't happen, because we all know the sequel. So that's the next movie we would like to make. And, well, after that, hopefully my Western. And we have a marvelous science fiction thriller. So we have a lot of original stories. We could make movies until we all 180 years old. It's not a problem. But obviously we would like to make, original content. We don't want to reboot and sequel and prequel other people's work. So I think that's important for us, that we want to make original stories come to life.
It's awesome. Les, you have a question?
Thanks very much, Hera. The movie sounds amazing, Serenity. The idea of Lovecraftian modern horror is very, very cool. So I just wanted to say I'm very keen to see it. I will head over and see what I can do about minting on Augusta. But I was just thinking, Augusta being a kick-ass hero on a motorcycle, I saw the World on Wheels tweet about what's your favorite mode of transport. And Augusta on motorcycles picture for World on Wheels might be very cool. Maybe a crossover. So thank you very much.
Ooh, that sounds amazing, Les. Thank you so much. Actually, you know what the cool thing is? Our stunt driver, she, not only does she have the same name as the actress, but she literally looks like her. It's so funny. She has a 1982 vintage Ducati Monster.
Ooh.
Yes, it's porn for every motorbike fan.
I'm a bike guy, yeah.
Oh, damn, it looks so freaking awesome. And we filmed her on a completely crowded motor, like highway, hanging out of the back of a cabriolet, which was also vintage 1965.
So you went the full Matrix Revolutions route, but with actual cars and an actual traffic scene.
Oh yeah. No, we literally went two hands from the freaking tunnel, and cars left and right, and she was driving there. I was like, oh my god, we're getting so arrested, but we have it. It wasn't easy, but we got it.
It's very cool. I'm very much looking forward to seeing it. Thank you for telling us about it.
Thanks, Les. Any other questions? Feel free to request. Serenity, anything else you want to touch base on?
Oh yeah. Well, if you don't mind, I would just like to talk a little bit about the making of. And yeah, if you're not in our Discord, I would suggest just have a peek in there, because we have a live blog, which I'm slowly but surely, day by day, transfer from Instagram, where it's already completed, obviously, to Discord. So it's basically a day-to-day making of. Every single shooting day is documented, and we say what we wanted to do, what the problems or the issues were, and the obstacles we faced, and how we solved it, because with indie filmmaking, you really have to have solutions aplenty, even if nothing might go wrong. You really just have to make sure that you don't run over time. You have your lunch break. Sometimes you have to set up the new location while you have your lunch break. Everybody wore a couple of hats apart from our cameraman because I needed him to be focused. But the rest of us was really doing 5-6 jobs. And what I'm extremely proud of is our crew, because we have literal monster makers who worked as armorists, for example, in Gladiator and Troy, and who also worked as monster creators in Prometheus and Alien Covenant and Aliens 3 and His House on Netflix. So these people are friends of ours. We are like just private, we are buddies. And they had leftovers from Alien Covenant and basically melted down that silicon again and made the prosthetics for Toxica because I didn't have the money to pay material. So yeah, they basically have leftovers from Covenant, and you can see those in the movie, just reformed and refurbished as Toxica practical effects, because everything is real. So everything is practical. We obviously enhanced it a little bit VFX towards the end, but only to make it, a little bit more appealing. But in general, like, you literally have body horror elements from the 80s and 90s where everything was rubber reality, which I love. That was one of my most important points, that I really want everything to be real, because you see it, if you don't, even the best CGI signals to your brain that this is not real. But even if it's like rubber face or rubber head that explodes, you still kind of like realize it is at least
I
the
gotta
material.
disagree with you there.
Oh, shoot.
I've always loved CGI. Did you watch Dune?
Oh, I love CGI. That's not oh yeah, I like Dune. I actually didn't know, but still your brain kind of tells you, it's just such a
Could you
subconscious
tell?
thing.
Could you tell?
I could, yes. But I'm not watching movies like normal people anymore. I can
They didn't
literally
use many
see everything.
miniatures in the new Dune compared to the last Dune. And for a
Yes.
variety of reasons. Because, they're trying to create larger scenes. And they're trying to do it in such a way that it looks epic. Epic.
It does. It really does, Jimmy. I agree.
So what did you think did not look real in Dune?
Oh, no, it does look real. The thing is, like, what I said is it does look real, but your brain still realizes what is
You know
actually
why?
real
It's a movie.
material.
Because it's a movie in the future on a planet called Arrakis, which is set 50,000 years after the planet Terra has been depopulated. And House Harkonnen has left Arrakis, and House Arrakis has just arrived. How could that be real? It's not. It's a movie.
Nah, I was talking in terms of effects, like when you, for example, in many what was it, Girl in the Spider's Web, they used CGI to turn spring Stockholm into winter Stockholm, made a lake look like it's frozen over, and added a couple of cars that later exploded, basically. And I did not see the difference. The thing is, if you give me something like ice or a car or something I think it's so much better to use CGI. But in terms of spaceships, maybe your brain, or like in Planet of the Apes, that monkey doesn't ride a horse. I mean, I wish it would, and I really do, but it doesn't. And the thing is, your brain always signals and says, yeah, that looks awesome, but it's still not real. Whereas in rubber reality, as they call it in film industry, when you have like a fake head or a fake body, and it explodes or is grown over by Lovecraftian tentacles, you kind of find it more real because it basically is, it's real material. Yeah, and I find that very fascinating because we use
that the first Planet of the Apes used no CGI, but you could tell. I knew at the time that that ape was not a real ape. I just think you're kind of a picky movie watcher.
Oh, I see. No, no, definitely. The thing is, the magic is where rubber reality and CGI meet. That's exactly what we did. We did 80% is, like the real thing. And then you add a little bit of virtual magic just to blend it in a bit more, or to add certain elements you simply cannot do uh, with real, material. So yeah, the magic is really, I think you should really always look into the future. You should see what is out there I can use, but also not neglect what was there in the past, because it's just marvelous what people can do with latex and silicon. And honestly, guys, I can't wait for you to see it. I'm very, very happy. I'm very proud. And I think we did a good job with, very little money, no studio budget.
Can I
But yeah.
ask you a question?
Oh,
Do
yeah,
you like
always,
Lenny
Jimmy.
Feisenstahl?
Sorry?
Do you like Lenny Feisenstahl?
I do not know who that is.
Hey,
Are you sure you don't know who she
Jimmy.
is?
Hey, Jimmy.
Because,
Jimmy.
yeah?
Can I finish this presentation? Then we can talk about whoever it is that Jimmy or whoever she is. I want
Well,
to talk
she
about her.
made Triumph of the Will. I think that Serenity would know that film.
Don't know
You
who
know
that
what
is.
I mean? Triumph of the Will? Triumph de Wallens?
I'm the host, and when you're rude and talk over me and keep asking stuff, I'll just kick you out. That's just the way that I work. So nothing on Serenity. I'm sure she probably knows who that person is. Anyhow, Serenity, can you please just give me an overall wrap up of the NFT that you're working on? Just because we're just running out of time.
Oh, absolutely. I'm sorry. I think Jimmy just, wanted to know. But yeah, well, overall, basically the 2D artwork is hand drawn. It's made by acquaintance of ours who really just offered us this Augusta as a test, and we loved it so much that we say, you know what? Don't change a thing. We love it. So that Augusta comes with different styles and vibes. In terms of outfits and backgrounds, it basically reflects the world of Toxica. It basically shows you what kind of mood and vibe is in that city and in that world, because it resembles our world, but it's definitely something very much on its own. It's inspired by Batman Gotham. It's inspired by Batman Hush. Like it has this very Gotham City element to it. And the interesting fun fact, actually, I literally just revealed the other day, was Augusta's outfits. If you look at them, they are inspired by pop cultural icons. So you have the black suit, which is inspired by Catwoman, 1990s animated series Batman. You have the golden one, which is inspired by the Oscars. You have the denim one, which is 1990s, basically, jeans, denim, Levi's stuff. But yeah, it's also the outfit she wears in the movie, because it's all set in the 1990s. Then the red one, okay, that's Britney Spears, catsuit and Hit Me Baby One More Time.
Hit me, baby, one more time.
It's one of my favorite. I think Prodigy has it, and he just celebrated so much. And the last one is Captain America, kind of like inspired by Captain America, but it's also an American flag, because Augusta, although played by a Scottish actress, is American, and she does a perfect American accent because she literally shares the same dialect coach as Tom Holland of Spider-Man. So we said, hell, just do it. It's great. So yeah, she pulled it off.
That's awesome. So, where can I go to check out the Mint? And then Sky Harb, I think, has a question.
Yeah, you can check it out. We have it in our link tree, but you also, if you go to my pinned post, I put it up there, I guess. You just go to the pinned post, and I put the retro NFTs minting website up there, so it should be very, very easy to do. But I make sure I pin it up.
Yep. Sky Harbor, did you have a question?
It wasn't a question. I want to say, Serenity, your art is amazing. I'm looking at it right now. It's really great. And that Jimmy guy that was here earlier, he's a known troll. Try not to let him in anywhere because he'll fuck with you. But third of all, I'm your local Ergo shill. I love Ergo. Sky Harbor is actually a new NFT marketplace on Ergo, and I think.
Listen, I love Ergo too, and I mine it. However, this isn't shill time. We have a process on this show where you can gladly come and shill your Ergo place, right? But there's a process, so I'll just ask you to follow that because I'm a fan of Ergo and would like to know what's going on over there. So maybe you could sign up.
Thank you, Sky Harbor, for your lovely comment in the beginning. I like it. Yeah, check out Sky Harbor. Thank you.
So here is your. I'm glad I was able to catch the last half of your presentation, Pumpkin. And here is your palette cleanser for this presentation. It is a quote from a Clockwork Orange. It's funny how the colors of the real world only seem really real when you watch them on the screen.
I like that. That was beautiful. Thank you, Lido.
Darlington.
That is my name, Darlington. I'm fully doxxed. I'm one of those
Depends on if
weird
you're singing
people.
the song or not. So, Lido. Ooh.
Listen, Serenity, did you know that Lido, Lido, is the second biggest DeFi program on Ethereum? I believe it is. I could be wrong. It might be on something else, but he's been hiding that from us for a very long time. Like, I think he's actually a multi-trillion zillionaire.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
I'm a multi-trillion zillionaire that still loses $900 every month to run my stake pool.
So if you have any extra ADA sitting on an exchange or you want to split a wallet, Lido Nation could definitely use some stake. He helps educate a lot of people and helps a lot of people with translations into Spanish and Swahili. And there's one other one. I'm not as good as TCT. I can't remember it.
In audio and visual format.
You guys are great. Oh, it's 10:30 already. I was gonna say what should we close out the show with, but it's 10:30. 11:30.
It's almost time to close out, but I want to say thanks to Serenity, Pumpkin, for coming up. And I'm not missing this NFT mint, so as soon as this is over, I'm going to go in and stop the live recording of the show and mint me an NFT.
I would be the happiest, and I thank you so much for support. I know that entire project is very new, and people don't really know where it is going, and I get it, but thank you for everybody who does support it and who believes in us and who would like to see more movies. And I'm just very, very happy that you're on board for this. Thank you, Cardano community.
Co-host, just be careful with who you're letting come up. I'm just saying. Just putting that out there. Let them sit on request for a minute or two. If they hang out, then we can let them up. As you noticed, as green candles get larger and as price goes up, more trolls will appear.
Wait, price is up?
I don't know. No, actually, yes, I do know because it's on the recording screen. Price is actually down. Well, it's not really down. It's $1.18.
It's about 30% up from where we were a little while ago.
Yeah, so I mean, it's down on the hourly candle. Ooh, oh my god! Look, it's a Bermuda.
It's Bermuda.
Just DCA and make some money, and then later on we're all at the Rare Bloom. We can buy each other a steak dinner or something, or a vegan dinner, whichever.
I'm trying to organize I'm not trying very hard, I should say, but I do plan on going to a hot springs after the Red Bloom event. That's
we
like
are going
30
together.
minutes away.
You better include me in that. If you already have the place, you better let me know. Because my wife.
Yes. This springs it has some, is it alkaline, like trace amount, so it gives you a really nice body high without having to smoke anything.
That's the best high ever, and the only one that I can do now. So thank you.
What's up, Bob?
Hey, what's up, guys? I just wanted to wait for the presentation to complete to say what I need to say. I don't know if this is the right time or place. It's going to be very quick, but I listen to you guys. I try to every day. But something in my personal life, or close to my personal life, just came up. My cousin, who's 27 years old and just got recently engaged, was diagnosed with cancer, and he's about to undergo chemotherapy in April. His family has set up a GoFundMe to help fund that treatment. My personal work, or my personal help for that, is I've set up a wallet with the ADA handle ADA for Sam. And I'm taking donations, and I'll be posting those ADA donations to the GoFundMe. So that way it's all transparent. I plan on doing that by the end of the weekend or sometime next week. But if you don't feel comfortable, sending ADA to the wallet because it might be sketchy for you and you don't trust, which I totally understand, you can go directly to the GoFundMe. The information for all that is in my pinned tweet on my profile. But yeah, I just wanted to speak out, and I enjoy listening to you guys every day. The Cardano community has already been pretty helpful on this, and so yeah, I appreciate the time.
Well, I hope, and I'll keep your cousin right in my thoughts and prayers. I don't talk that stuff too often, but I hope he makes a full recovery. And treatment nowadays is a lot better than it used to be. So keep him in my thoughts, man.
Yeah,
Bob,
sorry to bring the vibes down, but yeah.
Bob, is that an ADA with a number 4 or FOR? Which one is it?
Yeah, it's just ADAFOR Sam. That's the ADA handle. Like I said, you can go to my pin tweet, and I have like a screenshot of all of that. But yeah, for full transparency, I'll be screenshotting like the transfers from that wallet to like the exchange and all that. That way, it's very very clear that I'm not scamming you guys. So,
but just say be transparent with it, because how there are a million scams out there. I'm not saying that you are, but just be transparent with it, and I'm sure the Cardano community will find something to help you.
You're
Yeah,
a rat style brother. You're a rat style brother, bro. We got you.
Respects. All right, I'll see my way back to the audience. Thank you, guys.
Hey, like I said, keep them in my thoughts and prayers, man. It's Bermuda. You came up. How are you? See you with your new PFP.
Hey, what's up, man? I just haven't been on Cardano with coffee in a while. Just tapping in. Wanted to say what's up. Yeah, dude, I jumped out of bed last night like 2-something in the morning. I just totally FOMO'd into this project. I didn't even know. It's so funny, man. Like I didn't even know what it was. I didn't even know that it was minting. I didn't even care about any of it. I was just like, the art is amazing, and you don't really. And this is no shot to people. Like there are a lot of good artists on Cardano. That's not what I'm trying to say. But over the last couple months, like I've seen some projects that are pretty,
Well, that's the thing with art.
They don't meet like my standards, I guess, of enjoying the art. But this one really did. So
yeah.
I bought a bunch.
That's the thing with art, right? Like what you find as beautiful art, someone else might be like, "Oh God, that's fucking disgusting," right?
Oh, absolutely. I know that this skull is not appealing to most. But you know what I mean, though. Like as far as the time and the effort, there's both ends of the spectrum. There's a lot of great artists on Cardano. That's not what I'm saying.
I wish I had a tenth of the artist's ability of the person that drew your PFP, or half of the PFPs I see, because I can't even draw a fucking stick man, dude.
I like that zebra though. Are you guys also? So I see Rare Bloom in here. I'm so conflicted, man. I did a post
Just go
the other
Rare
day.
Bloom, get it over with. Just do the right thing.
But you're not going to the other one,
No,
CNFT Con?
I will not be at CNFT Con. I will be at Rare Bloom.
But I feel like you like the NFTs too.
Oh, I love NFTs, but that don't mean that I can't talk NFTs at Rare Bloom. Like, I'm trying to go see Ben Gortzel. Like, come on, man. Like, what the hell?
Oh, see, I think so. Rare Bloom is going to be more of like a, how do I put it? It seems like a more
Not
mature
NFT.
conversation and like overall education. I don't know. I don't even know who the guy is that you mentioned. Sorry, man.
God,
I'm still learning.
he is like the head guy at Singularity Net. He worked at Hanson Robotics. The dude's like the smartest. Like, you think Charles is like got a little bit of smarts? Yeah, no, yeah.
Oh wow. Okay, so you're going to pick his brain. That's for sure. That's awesome. Yeah, if I have time, I mean, maybe I'll sneak down to both. I heard some people might do like a road trip or something. So
Yeah, I heard there's a caravan, right? So
that's the rumor going around.
like, jump on that caravan. So that's what if I could make it to both, I would, but I had to choose one or the other. And yeah, well, I wanna know more about the tech side too. Like, don't get me wrong, I love NFTs, but I want to know more about the DeFi stuff that's coming up, and some of the people that they have speaking at Rare Bloom are just like, I gotta go.
Yeah, I guess that's a fair point. That's where a lot of the long term plays could be made. And initially with Cardano, I wasn't even really an NFT person at all. When I first got into ADA, it was just more of like, hey, this is a scalable blockchain that makes sense. And they have staking. There was a couple other things that I liked when I heard, Charles speak. And then NFTs kind of came along, but there was, and I was doing all DeFi plays over on Ethereum. But now that Muesli and Milky and some of these other guys are popping up, I promised myself that I'm going to take the time, this weekend to sit down and really like try to dive deeper. So you got a good point, man. It would be definitely beneficial for me to be there. It sounds like.
If you're doing DeFi on Ethereum, or you were, the cost on Milkomeda, right, for almost, not quite all the same pairs and everything yet. It's getting there. Give it some time, but it's a lot cheaper. Like, I did not pay a shit ton of gas fee to sell the wrapped ETH that I just sold a little bit ago, right? So
Yeah, I mean, from me to you, like, I get it. I guess the gas fees hurt, right? But it's not as bad as it used to be, brother. Like, it was $200, $300 in gas like a few
well,
months ago,
don't you
and
think
these days it's like $6.
when we go on this next bull run in the next, whenever, what do you think's going to happen, bro? Like, be more forward thinking than that. You know what's going to happen to those fees.
Yeah, but they've done a good job on keeping things scalable, and this is coming from somebody who literally invested in Cardano before Ethereum because of this
I don't
this
think.
same reason.
I just don't think that the Ethereum problem is fixed, right? I don't think that it's going to be fixed. I think it's going to face the same problems for a while. I don't think that it's going to fail overall. Don't get me wrong. I think in the long run it'll survive. It's got too big of that first advantage, but it's once you start getting other protocols, and Cardano gets 2 years into this game, and if Ethereum isn't fixed,
Right.
I don't know.
No, I agree with you, and things are moving at a really good pace on Cardano, man. It's like I'll go away for a month or two, and then I'll check back in, and like we got new wallets, we got new dexes, we got new marketplaces. So the competition is in its early healthy growth stages, and that makes for a healthy environment. And it seems that CNFT.io was the place to be, and now it's dead because why would I shop there? Well, everybody jumped over to JPEG store because you don't need escrow. You can use the light wallets. Things are faster, and I'm sure there'll be a day when people leave JPEG store because they'll be in some new marketplace with another advantage that comes up, so on and so forth. So it's cool to see this sort of stuff. I totally agree with you though. But yeah, Tom, you got something?
Got Good morning, gentlemen, ladies. 2 words for you: Stockholm Syndrome. And that's how I feel sometimes when I hear about Ethereum, because I remember making 300 tracks for like $36 back when God knows how much Ethereum was. And I've lost like $70. They charged me $70 for a transaction fee. I didn't have enough and lost my shit twice. So like somebody who's been in a bad relationship with somebody, and I started dating around and found that there were other options. And I appreciate you coming back to Cardano and checking out, seeing how we're doing. That's how I feel about Ethereum. Every now and then I look back at Ethereum and wonder, when is my VV stuff going to get over to Ethereum so I can sell it? Anyways, what got me in here was that rare bloom. And I really like what you're saying, Hero. There is a split kind of between, I want to say, the CNFT community and then the developing end of things. Like, there's a lot of people that want to be on the back end behind the curtain to figure out how to make this show really get going, while these marketplaces, jockey for position. But hey, thanks for letting me get on and just kind of unload my brain real quick. I hope I didn't offend anybody, because, I'm really grateful for the blockchain technology. I just,
You're good, bro. You're good. I wish I could go to both events, but unfortunately, I'm outside of my control. Sucks.
Hopefully, if he's staying around, he's going to bring his Jimmy hat. You don't want to go without your Jimmy hat, bro.
Listen, if they had CNFT Con in Pittsburgh now, I'm saying, let's go East Coast.
Time out. Why don't they have it? And how hard would it be to put something together like that? And I'm telling you, if we sold 300 tickets at 158 a each, I'm pretty sure the math on that will get us somewhere. So,
I don't know. I'm not an event person, but I think there needs to be something on the East Coast, like, even if it's in New York or something, right? Because you got both of those events over there going on. You got Vegas and then Denver. Like, we need Rare Bloom 2 or CNFT Con 2 on the East Coast.
That would be beautiful. That would be awesome.
Maybe someday, right? We'll see what happens. So I'm gonna roll out. I want to thank our guests, Serenity Pictures, and also World on Wheels. I wanted to keep just calling her by her name because that's how I know Cook, but I don't want to be rude. TCT, anything you want to finish up with?
No, I think I've spoken enough today.
I think you said like nothing. Did you?
Like
I don't know.
eight words, 9 words, I think. Hero top
9.
TCT, can you make it like 10 instead of 9?
Yes. Thank you, everyone. Have a great day. Enjoy the rug.
Later, anything you want to finish up with?
Don't forget to take a deep breath.